Hello, and welcome everybody to Diary of a Warhammer Noob. Well, something very interesting happened. Now, the next faction I'm gonna start playing this week is Greenskins. And I played against Norska. Now, I was like, alright, I do have some idea of how the Greenskins work. Basically well, they do have several ways of working. They have pretty good everything. But the one place they really excel at is right here. Their infantry. We did not play on Glacier Lake. I am unsure as to where we played, but that doesn't really matter. So the army I played, it wasn't exactly tailored against Norska. I figured let's make a basic army that will cover almost everything by using a very simple greenskin strategy. Drown them in stuff. So this is what I came up with. We have Grimgor without Gitsnik to absolutely nuke everything. And together with the two Goblin Big Bosses we can cause some really spectacular damage. We do have a front line of Orc Boys and Black Orcs, that's 6 units, that's a lot of power. Some anti-large right here, some archers, and some cavalry. And we have an Orc Shaman with Foot of Gork, in case I do run into any cavalry, because it's a pretty cool spell. Here we go, so it can stack with Wa, so I can get even my basic Orc Boys to some ridiculous melee attack stats. And Fists of Gork, because I really like this spell, and you never know when it will be useful. So I played against Norska. Yes, I did. It was a pretty cool replay, honestly. Pretty cool fight. I'm not a very good guy when it comes to just predicting what the other guy was gonna bring. But if I was in the Norskins' shoes, I would have brought a lot more berserkers. A lot more berserkers. But anyway, hey, who knows? He may have been afraid of Black Orcs. So this is my formation. There is no formation, basically. Now, because I was playing, when I saw Norska, I didn't know what he had, but I thought that he was gonna have some berserkers, and if he had any monsters, they would just charge down the center and my orcs would be screwed. So the center is comprised of these two Black Orc units with Grimgor in between them, and flanked by Orc Boys. Biggins to the flanks so it can cover any cavalry, Arrow Boys to the back, Shaman, the two Goblin Big Bosses. Honestly, they're there for character sniping, but I'm such a dumbass that I didn't use them for this role. But they did serve a pretty good role by poisoning enemy units and lowering the stats, so that's not bad. The one thing I misused greatly in this game are the Orc Board Boy Biggins. They're a very cool unit, very powerful in this case, especially against Norskins. I knew I was going to need some anti-large. Turns out I was going to need a lot of it, but hey. So, when it comes to dwarves, the whole thing is keep formation at all times, target priority, have good units to answer the enemy. A lot of strategic decisions to be made with dwarves, I found out in that short space of time that I played with. Greenskins are a pretty simpler race, I found, or at least they can be a pretty simple race. Just put as many Orc Boys as you can possibly put, I mean to a point where they are actually useful in a list, and then throw them at the enemy. That's what we're gonna see here. Look at that. Look at this. I mean, this is beautiful. Now here he kind of botches his charge up a bit. His mammoth stopped, but that doesn't really matter. And then the charges begin. See these berserkers didn't even get a chance. Now I realize Wulfric's gonna be a big problem, so I pop Here We Go on these folks. Look at this 96 melee attack on the biggins, anti-large. They just fall onto Wulfric and then focus all of my fire on Wulfric. It's very easy to hit on this mammoth. I do not worry about this feral mammoth at the moment because I throwed some more biggins. At any moment now, I think... Wow, he spear reached him. I didn't even notice that. He tried and throw these guys here. He managed to make it, but I do have the biggins. Now this is where I misused them. I charged Marauder Spearmen from the front while they were braced, and it wasn't even a good charge, and I pulled through, which made the Spearmen do some very big damage to my biggins. Wulfric's dead though. Wulfric got absolutely wrecked. The amount of damage we did to him was insane. And he peaced out. I did cast Fists of Gork at some point to Grimgore. Now focus on the Feral Mammoth. It should be very easy to kill with my Arrow Boys because the Feral Mammoth doesn't have armor. These guys might never make it through. I shoot the Feral Mammoth as much as possible. And in case you didn't already realize, this game would be a win for me, which is weird, but I mean, look at this. I completely overwhelmed him on everything. He could not silence my Arrow Boys fast enough, and frankly, Fists of Gork on Grimgore, I don't care who you are, you're gonna die, son. And I ordered my Boar Boy Biggins to keep up with Wulfric, so that he doesn't get to come back. And then the casualties are just mounting up again and again, and my Arrow Boys are just going to town. Look at that. These guys are dying left and right, and they're being recharged by biggins. And that's where everything breaks. The only thing that's left is these guys who are unbreakable, but I won something. Honestly, this kind of strategy did... not strategy. Should I say playstyle? I'm gonna go with playstyle. This kind of playstyle doesn't require a lot of strategic thinking. Because, I mean, it's basically just throw your stuff at his stuff and watch them maim them. It's not like the dwarves where I have to be careful about the matchups and the runes and all that. Well, I do have to be careful of my Y and Here We Go spells, but that's about it. The orc, they got a chevron. I mean, honestly, I don't know what they killed. They killed a lot of berserkers, that's for sure. Well, actually, no. Possibly they scrapped the skin wolves. Maybe. Honestly, he couldn't answer. I know these are 2 kills and 9 kills, but mostly they did a lot of damage to 2 mammoths, so of course they're not going to have any kills, but they were very potent units. And they helped me a lot. If I hadn't wrecked Wulfric and this feral mammoth, I would have been in big trouble. And he didn't answer these. I would have flanked with these guys. Of course, I had my flanks covered, and I had some boar boys, so it was not that easy, actually. But I had him so badly outnumbered. And his infantry... I mean, I will pick Marauder Berserkers over Orc Boys any day. Obviously. Against Black Orcs, though? Ugh. I don't know. This is one of the situations where I genuinely do not think that this could have won that. This is a pretty cool... I'm gonna keep testing this, honestly. But it's a pretty simple build, I think. It has all the tools it needs. It hasn't some... It doesn't... It's not fancy. It's not going to pull any weird trick out of your hat. It just comes at you and clobbers you to death. The reason I won is, I think, is because I managed to focus down his big stuff quickly and then buff up my infantry as my original plan was correctly with my spells and Grimgore's War. The other correct thing I did was throw the Biggins, realized that there was no threat to my flanks, so throw the Biggins immediately at the Mammoths. Grimgore just went after Wulfric, because Grimgore is Grimgore, and Grimgore is awesome. He took a lot of damage though. You would expect that, but hey. Badly misused the Goblin Big Bosses. I don't think I ever even selected them, aside from the attack order I gave them at the start of the fight. Badly misused the Goblin Big Bosses and the Orc Biggins, but damn, that was fun. Anyway, that was it. Pretty simple, pretty fast. I mean, one of the reasons I like Warhammer battles over other stuff is because they're quicker, which means you can get it over with. That's kind of a poor choice of words now that I think about it, but whatever. I like that the battles are faster. That's what I'm getting at, okay? And greenskins, damn, are they quick to play. Damn, are they quick to play. I mean, they're a rushy faction, and I'm like, well, I'm playing a very aggressive faction. Might as well get aggressive, right? It's not like I'm playing dwarves, and I'm looking to be aggressive, which is kind of out of their style. I would never try and play defensive with these folks. Ever. Anyway, that was it. Simple, quick, slaughterhouse. It's just the way greenskins liked it. See you later, folks.